Hello and welcome to the very first paying customer project by me, 084 BLUT 084. Hopefully Mr. Pineapple Man will join me today because he is the first customer to ask me to illustrate a drawing for him. And after we've done this illustration and inked it and all of the good stuff that we've got to do for the illustration, I may digitize it. I may not. It all depends on whether if Mr. Pineapple Man wants it. But he does want a polymer clay figurine made, so I'll be doing that as well. But we need to find it first. So I'm just giving Mr. Pineapple Man time to get into the stream because I need his input on what he wants it to look like. If he can't join me, oh, no, as I'm saying that, he's just now joined us. He is now here, the Sir Pineapple First is his name on YouTube, guys. He's also on TikTok. So it's where we met each other. We're kind of a bit of a twin issue going on with there because he's got a very similar bandana to what I've got. We've got very similar glasses, and the beard issue. Well, mine's a little bit better, but that's enough of that for now. We need to get on with this. So, Mr. Pineapple Man, give me some ideas. I know I've got a few references here. I can turn that around. I've got some few references here like you've seen before. But if I do remember, you wanted somebody like... let me give a second. You wanted somebody like... just find out your WhatsApps a second. I want screenshots that are on WhatsApps. You wanted a particular picture, didn't you? So I can find him. This one here. You like that character there, didn't you? That's the one you kind of wanted. Is this kind of the way you want the form to be? Whereabouts do you remember you saying you wanted the cane and things on the polymer clay picture? But I'll obviously not picture, polymer clay figurine. But I'll make this. I'll draw, like I said, I'm going to draw it all today. I'm going to sketch it today. Don't know if I'll get around to inking it today yet, bud, because sketching does sometimes take a long period of time. And as I want to make it as good as possible for you, I want to make this design pretty good. So then I've got all the colors, I've got all the shape, I've got all the form. So when I make the polymer clay version for you to have at home, then you have what you like. You know what I mean? There's no point me sort of making it and then you're like, oh, actually, do you know what? I don't like that design. Could you make it again? Then obviously there's a bit of a problem. So if again, guys, this is Mr. Pineapple Man. He is my first paying customer. So if you guys are interested in what I'm doing today, don't forget to leave a suggestion of what you want made down below. And I will do my very, very best to get around to getting a very similar thing what's happening now. I'll draw you a picture and then I'll make something out of polymer clay. And if you've got VR, then I'll make your VR area to play in. But for now, like I said, we've got to get this done. But you say yep to that. But like, there's quite a few dynamic poses you sent me. Well, they're not dynamic poses, but would you rather have something in with it holding his top hat like that? Would you like him standing in that kind of position so he's got the cane on the floor? The cane, unfortunately, I think is going to have to be touching the floor just so the polymer clay is going to be freestanding. So it's going to kind of have to have the cane touching the floor or touching where the feet is and stuff. Same as I did for Morning Skate, where I put the hand out, put the board there to support it. That's the kind of idea that I'm kind of thinking that's going to work for the polymer clay. So if you want the top hat on top, because I know you want a top hat as well. Do you want top hat and tails like he has here? Top hat and tails. Or would you like a different pose with the hat? The cane is going to have to go. One arm is going to have to be going down to reach for the cane and things. What I'm going to do, because you're actually upside down, if I'm looking this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this camera around so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. Turn it around. Hopefully that'll work. There you go. Now you can see what I'm doing. Move it up a bit closer. This is how I used to stream. Oh my god, this is the old way of doing it. Give me a second. Why is it? Oh, I'm gonna have to move it over there. Right. Okay. I'm so professional. Right. You're painting the bum. Do as I tell you. There we go. That's kind of it. There you go. We're upside. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Right. So, like I said, what do you think about the poses? Yeah, kind of have to tell me as I'm going along, bud, because obviously, there we go. So the cane would be something like that. I remember you showing me that one. Would you like his cane to be? Not his cane. Sorry. What kind of cane do you want to give him? Do you want to give him like a pineapple-based cane at the top? You know, little pineapple at the top on his cane, or do you want it to be a bog standard cane like that? Do you want the top hat on his head? But considering he's a pineapple, I think you want to kind of show off the top of his hat, top of his head being a pineapple, because I think it would be a bit convoluted if the top hat was on top. But I could make the top hat look like the pineapple's top of the head, so it's not technically his hair, it's his actual hat. I could do something like that. But you have to kind of let me know, bud, and do it kind of quickly. So I'm opening the book. This is a fresh book, and if you want to know what this book is and everything about it, then I did post the new stuff yesterday, Sunday. Got my book in place. Got my pen, sail. So I'll draw it all out on pencil first. Then I'll draw it out on pen. Sorry, not draw it out pen. I'll trace it kind of in pen. Basically go over it in it's called inking. The process is called inking. So sketch, ink, and then color. I've got some nice Copic colors to be using for that, but that'll be later in the videos. But yeah, buddy, what do you think of the pose there? What I've told you before I start drawing. Am I coming in okay? Can you hear me fine? Oh, yeah, man. I think there's a little bit delay from me to you. Yes, bog standard cane and top hat by this other side. So you want a bog standard cane like that, and a top hat by his side, like under his arm by his side. So instead of his hat being there, it'd be more sort of in this area here. Or do you want it so he's holding it to the side? Sort of so the hat would be round about here, and his hand would be, both hands would be stretching down, but one would be on the cane and one would be down here holding the hat. Or would you want it underneath his arm, like he's sort of cupping it, like a football? Yeah, by legs. Oh, so so kind of like, okay. So he's not going to be holding it. He's going to be holding it in his hand and not under his arm. Is that right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to start sketching. You can leave some comments in the background there, bud, and I'll get on with what I think you want. From what I've got out of you and what you've left me and what you've sent me. Right, so we'll just do a quick head. There's his head, and then we'll stretch out his body. So you want to kind of like, can you see that sketchy line there, bud? I think you can, yeah. So it'll be sort of there, these shoulders. And we'll just give him a triangle body for now. We're only sketching. And his arm. So his arm would have to go down something like that. There's his elbow. And his other arm would be somewhere like. Now I'm thinking balancing as well, because obviously when it's standing and it's got a big hat in hand, I think the cane would probably hold it, as long as I position the cane in the right place. Because I would say there might be a slight differentiation between. There might be. What was I saying? There might be a slight differentiation between the drawing and the sculpture, purely because of balancing issues and things like that. For when I because I've got to make it balanced because it's going to be freestanding. It's not going to have a base. I could give it a little base, but I don't have any like wood or anything like that, or doweling or anything to stick it down. I generally only make freestanding things. Something similar to that. That's not what I've made, but it's only got feet of itself, so he'd probably be standing up on his own, kind of similar to that again. It'd be sort of standing. So here we go. I can quickly actually show you what kind of pose he'll be in. So it'll be like standing there, hand here, and then you want the other hand to be holding the hat, and then you want this hand sort of stretched out and holding the cane. Obviously, I can't draw it coming out the screen, the page, but yeah. So we'll be holding the cane here. So something like we'll be holding the cane there. His hand would be holding the hat there. Sort of, is that the idea you're looking for? Obviously, the pineapple head and things like that. Is that the kind of pose you're looking for? Because that's what I'm kind of drawing. Yes, Brill lighting. So yeah, Brill lighting. Oh, because you can see it in. I see what you mean. Hey, Artemis Craft. Hey, like your new name. If you didn't know that, do you want me to tell them that you change your name, or I'm gonna have to? If you haven't, if you know Abigail Jackson from previous streams, she is my sort of moderator for chat, but she's changed her name to Artemis Craft. She wanted Artemis, but obviously that was taken. But Artemis Craft is was formerly known as Abigail Jackson, is now Artemis Craft. She does have a TikTok. No, not TikTok. She has yes. She has TikTok, and she has I think now just got Twitch, so she might be doing some art projects of her own. We'll see how that goes, and keep watching her profile for that. Well, welcome to the chat there, Abigail. Just chatting a little bit, getting on with what we got going. But yeah, for that pose there, Pineapple Man, what do you reckon? I just showed you. I'm about to draw it very slowly, mind, because it does take a minute or two to draw. I'm kind of copying this pose here that you gave me. His leg would have to, I don't think his legs aren't going to be able to go. No, they might be able to go together like that. And then his knee-ish. And then his feet sort of like that. So those legs are long. His arms have to be a bit longer then. And come just past the hips. Yeah, your forearms just come past your hips. No, I think it has to be, yeah. Exactly right, I don't think. I think the pose is spot on. Nice one. Pretty much this one then. Music. Do you want to pick some music, Mr. Pineapple Man? Do you want to pick a genre of music? Actually, I better rephrase that purely because if I give you too much choice, I'll actually get copyright from the music, and I do not want that. So, pick a genre of music, and I'll see if I can get that down for you. I don't know, pop rock, punk, funk, jazz, blues, classical, as we're doing a bit of a classical person. And pineapple head. There you go. There you go, finished. Do you like it? He's a bloody punk. All right. Well, I'm not even designing that yet. Okay, so we need to start sketching. Where shall I start? Sorry. Is the Pineapple Man going to be this Pineapple Man? Is he going to be having a shirt? Is he going to have a t-shirt? Is he going to have a suit jacket like this here? Or is he going to have a different jacket altogether? He's going to be wearing shorts. Is he going to be tropical and out in shorts and t-shirts, or is he going to be a posh toff like this? Good with any music. Never say you're good with any music. That's just mean. I'm asking you for okay, Mrs. Artemis. What? Pick something, because unless Pineapple Man chooses something, because I've got to have a little bit of music in the background. Or if you can't think of any music genre, let me know your favorite cartoon character or your favorite comic, something like that, or an audiobook, something like that. Just something I've got to listen to while I'm drawing. It just sort of helps when I'm drawing, especially if I'm creating something completely new or from something. Don't do that. Go away, weather. I never touched that button. All I did was touch the screen. Go away. Thank you. Green Lantern. Oh, Green Lantern. Okay, I can find some Green Lantern. Do you know what I've listened to? Okay. Have you heard this? Have you heard heard about the White Lantern? That's the lantern with all the powers of the spectrum of light. I actually like Green Lantern, so if you want to, I know a little bit of information about that if you ever should need it. I've got some copyright just from humming music. Right. I think that's where I got the copyright from yesterday. Because I was humming. I was playing Assassin's Creed yesterday and I got copyright. I don't know where I got it from, but I got a copyright strike from the music. So maybe I was humming and they gave me a strike. A comic story. Let's see if I can find some comic story in Green Lantern. Again, if you haven't checked out Comic Story, and they are pretty good. You'll find out a little bit more about them in a minute, but they're awesome to listen to. If you're an artist or if you're a creator or of any sort, or you just like to listen, you don't want to read, you can't afford to buy all the comics because there's loads of them out there. And you just want to pick out some favorite stuff, or you've got stuff for yourself that you sort of listen to or watch and do. And I have no idea. I'm trying to get this and trying to talk over it. So we've got comic story in Evil Sad versus Who You Do. Okay. There you go. Okay, so we want Green Lantern. Green Lantern. Well, Green Lantern full stories. Okay. Do you know any of the Green Lantern stories? Well, Green Lantern Mythos, comic story in. I think that will do. We've got the White Lantern saga, Carl Rayner, full story. We have Green Lantern 9 hours. Okay, there's 9 hours of Green Lantern. We start there. Green Lantern is a good one. No, just saw the movie. The movie is quite, it's one that you want to forget, really, the film. Let's stick some in the background so I can get a little bit of sketching done. So now I've got the pose, now I've got the idea. All I got to do is draw it out. So let's stick on Green Lantern, 9 hours, full story. So I can get some sketching done. You can still leave some comments coming in the background there, guys. I will answer them and get back to you appropriately, of course, it would help if it was connected to the stereo so you could hear it too, of which it's not. We say in the chat there. I am good with music. Yes, yeah, top. Okay, Green Lantern. Green Lantern is a good one, and yeah, the movie. Yeah, the movie sucked.
Now connected to me, SMT 110.
Okay, Green Lantern. Carl, Jeff G. Oh wait, this is Comics Explained. Yeah, let Comics Explained. Well, I've Comics Explained. Let's see what that's like for a change.
Is the idea that there will basically be a rise of 6 new Lantern Corps in it. Make sure you guys
okay, this is Comics Explained. Is a brother company to Comic Historian.
I'm nervous about this. I'm nervous about running over Jeff Johns' Green Lantern Rebirth because there's so much history here. I mean, this is one of the most beautifully written stories.
Can you hear that in the background? I may have to turn up a little bit.
I mean, just from the standpoint of a person that loves history and comic books, there's so much here. So, because of the fact that there is a lot, we're going to do 2 things. One, I'll defer you to my video on Hal Jordan Explained, where you'll find a lot of the backstory there. But what we're also going to do, for those of you guys that just don't have the time to watch that whole video, we're going to kind of cross that bridge as we get to it when it comes to like these different aspects of Hal Jordan's history. But the first thing we do here is we really just kind of pick up with Kyle Rayner actually crash landing on Earth and coming out of the sun. Now, the cool thing about this is when it comes to the different Green Lanterns that we've had, at least up to the point of Green Lantern Rebirth by Jeff Johns, Kyle Rayner is the new kid on the block. I mean, he's still the newest one. I wouldn't go as far as to say, that he's green around the ears, but I would go as far as to say that he's just...
You hear that in the background there, buddy?
I mean, really, the chronology in terms of the different Green Lanterns as they were introduced was, of course, Alan Scott, the one who was introduced in the Golden Age, followed by Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, John Stewart, and then Kyle Rayner. But it creates some really compelling things, too. It's just, a lot of the themes that have been wrapped up, that have kind of been left hanging, are effectively being wrapped up, actually, by Jeff Johns himself. But, Kyle Rayner really seems to have been usurped of almost all of his power. But then he also tells these 2 people who discover him, fear has a name. Fear has an actual name. Now, at this point, we jump to Carol Ferris.
Yeah.
Now, something to keep in mind here is that there was a point prior to Jeff Johns' run on Green Lantern where Carol Ferris was a Star Sapphire. She was the Star Sapphire. The difference is that, as far as I'm aware, the Star Sapphires, it was like one Star Sapphire. There wasn't like a whole group of them like what Jeff Johns did, but it was really more of like a position a person was appointed to and imbued with the power of the Star Sapphire, as opposed to a person who picked up a ring and ran with it. But as part of DC wrapping up a lot of this Green Lantern mythos with Hal Jordan, they really just like removed the Star Sapphire element of Carol Ferris and just kind of returned her to her normal human form. Now, of course, what she's really talking about here is the idea that Ferris Air Force Base is really kind of defunct here. That it's really kind of Jeff Johns sitting down and saying, okay, hey guys, here is Carol Ferris's her stomping grounds, Ferris Air Force Base. Now, again, the cool thing about this is that Jeff Johns is going to run over a lot of this stuff, which is going to make it easy for us. But like any great story, especially a story written by Jeff Johns, is really just kind of like, hey guys, here's the bricks that we're going to be using to build this house. Here's the brick. Here's the mortar. Here are the auger we're going to use to tear a hole in the ground. Here's the bush hog that we're going to use to tear up all the grass. Here's all the tools that we need to build this great, big, huge, massive house. And it comes together really well. Now, at this point, we jump to the Bronx, New York City, and we pick up with John Stewart and Guy Gardner. Now, Guy Gardner I want to talk about for a second, because when it comes to his character, there are 2 kinds of people. There are the people who don't like Guy Gardner, and there are the fans who are militant about Guy Gardner. Woe betide the poor soul who runs up on a Guy Gardner fan and is like, hey man, Guy Gardner sucks. Like, those fans will freak. They'll lose their minds. But rightfully so. Historically, in terms of how he's been depicted, this is why I kind of wanted to wait to get into the history of this. Historically, in terms of how he's been depicted, Guy Gardner is a direct reflection of DC's desire to kind of revamp and change up a lot of the Green Lantern mythos. The reason for this is because back in the day, back in the 1950s when Hal Jordan first showed up, it was cool. He was super huge. It was a great big deal because the only Green Lantern we had before him was Alan Scott, and his powers were tied to mysticism. They weren't tied to rings that were created created by the Guardians of the Universe. Hal Jordan was a reflection of DC's desire to tap into the sci-fi element of comic books that had made sci-fi comics so popular, roll those over into DC, and then reinvigorate superheroes in comics. Barry Allen was the first step that was taken to do that. Barry Allen, the reason why he's so important is because he literally reinvigorated interest in comic book superheroes. If Julius Schwartz had not created Barry Allen and introduced him in DC Showcase #4, I think it was, I doubt that we would have the kind of second renaissance of superheroes that we had in the 1950s. But with Hal Jordan showing up, it was like spacefaring adventures, and it was really cool. The problem with this was that by the by the late 1950s, Scott Moore Weisinger had taken over the role of Superman, and he was like, well, let's just have Superman go into space. Well, now, fans were kind of conflicted, because on one hand, you had Hal Jordan, who was kind of cool, but he was nothing when it came to the strength of the power of Superman. And then you had Superman in space. And so why would you read stories about Hal Jordan in space when you could read stories about Superman in space? And so Hal Jordan's comics began to fall to the wayside and began to sort of disappear. Now, there was a point where DC rolled him over alongside Green Arrow. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute once we get to Oliver Queen. But because of the fact that Hal Jordan's comics really just failed to maintain a reader base of any real substance and number during the 50s and 60s, going into 1968, I think it was, DC said, okay, well, let's toy with the idea of getting rid of Hal Jordan and replace him with a new Green Lantern called Guy Gardner. Now, after Guy Gardner was introduced over the years, he was hot-headed, he was really impulsive, but that element of his character drew fans in, because the question was, it was like a game, what's Guy Gardner going to say or do this time? Especially when we saw Crisis on Infinite Earths coming around, and we saw him become one of the founding members of Justice League International. He was constantly butting heads with Batman, because he's like, yeah, Batman, but you're old hat, man. You're old school. What we need is a new school leader. We need a guy that understands the streets, understands how things work. And it was very rare that he would just put up with people's shit, to be, to pardon my language, but to be quite frank, it was rare that he would put up with people's nonsense. And so because of that, he really grew as a popular character. But again, because of the fact that Hal Jordan just wasn't resonating, because of the fact that the Green Lantern mythos just wasn't sticking, despite the fact that John Stewart was introduced in 1971, by the time we got around to the late 1980s to the mid 1990s, eventually DC was like, you know what, let's just get rid of Hal Jordan in his entirety, and let's just kind of like revamp the Green Lantern mythos. Part of this was looking at Guy Gardner and saying, okay, let's take him away from being a Green Lantern. So we effectively lost his connection to the Lantern Corps. He became a Yellow Lantern for a while, and then we saw a story where he basically they kind of went back and they touched and said, well, he's part of some alien race. I don't know what it's called. It starts with a B. But they said, he basically has like minor shape shifting. He can grow to a certain size. He can kind of change his body's physical structure to allow for new powers and abilities. And he started calling himself Warrior, and that's where he stayed. He never really moved beyond that, because by that point in time, you had John Stewart, who was a major Green Lantern, because of the fact that fans were coming from the Justice League cartoon show and they wanted to see John Stewart as a Green Lantern. You had Kyle Rayner, who had already been introduced, and again, we'll get to him a little bit here in a second once we get to the return of Hal Jordan. But it was really just this idea that Guy Gardner was just kind of left out in no man's land at the time, and he basically just sort of stayed there. And so DC never really did a whole lot with his character. Now again, with the two of them, with Guy Gardner and John Stewart kind of going at it with one another, one of the things that I hope you notice here is the huge difference between the two. Guy Gardner's impulsive, he's reckless, he's hot-headed. John Stewart's very composed. John Stewart's very calm. Now, his own experiences have led to that. His own experiences have led to him being composed, always looking to the future, always wanting to make sure that he makes the right decision, sometimes overthinking the decisions that he makes. But, they're like oil and vinegar, but they also work so well together. The kicker about this is John Stewart also recognizes that when it comes down to it, when all else fails, if there's any guy that you want in your corner, it's Guy Gardner, because he's got it where it counts. When it comes down to it, when it's like, look, Guy, we got to stop screwing around. We got to get down to serious business. He will be in your corner, and he'll fight to the bitter end. And that's one of the reasons why fans love him so much. But continuing on, we basically pick up with the arrival of Hal Jordan. Now, something to point out here is this is Hal Jordan's Spectre, and this is really when we start to get into a lot of the interesting things about this, because when he arrives and he starts talking to John Stewart and Guy Gardner, immediately people start descending on him.
Just going to pause that there a second. What is he wearing, buddy? Is he wearing a very similar suit to this, or is he wearing something different? Is he wearing a tail? So you have like tails down here, with a top hat and tails, something like that. Or is he wearing just a bog standard suit? Oh no, that has tails there. But yeah, the tails. Does he have tails? Does he have a bow tie? Is he having a normal tie? Is he going to be sort of doing anything, wearing anything particular, because he's going to be a pineapple man. I don't, like, I mean, I could just make it bog standard looking exactly like that, but being a pineapple, is that if that's what you want, the idea, like bow tie, can't think what that's called, undercoat, overcoat, and stuff like that. How long have you been looking at my crotch? Let's turn that down a bit. Move that. Yes, top hat and tails, buddy. Bow tie. Oh, I like the bow tie. Okay, it's basically what you actually sent me here. Obviously, I'm taking a few artistic license parts and changing a few bits where I need to, just to make it work.
Spilling their deepest secrets, people that cheated on their taxes, guy goes like, hey, I cheated on my taxes. People are saying that basically, had affairs. I mean, they're really just spilling their deepest, darkest secrets. And Hal Jordan effectively has to bail out. Now, we'll find out why here in a minute. But at this point, we jump over to Oliver Queen. Now, Oliver Queen is actually spending time with a girl named Mia. And Mia was kind of like this newest iteration of Speedy by the time this era of comics came around, or at least she was when she had first popped up. Mia was a girl who actually had a pretty dark past. She was more or less kind of cast out onto the street. She was eventually forced into child prostitution. And then when she was discovered by Oliver Queen, he basically just kind of like took her, under his ward in the same way that Batman took, Dick Grayson and Jason Todd after him, brought them in under his care and taught her everything he knows so she could be a contributing member of society. The problem with all this is that, while they're doing whatever it is they do, when it's their training and exercises and so on and so forth, they're basically ambushed by Black Hand. Now, this is a really, really funny situation here because Black Hand was always like a minor villain. I mean, he was never like a huge guy. He was never like, oh my God, Black Hand's here, the Justice League assemble. It was never anything like that. It was like, oh, Black Hand's here, whatever, But what he does is he basically breaks into the home of Oliver Queen and he steals the ring of Hal Jordan. Oliver Queen, of course, intervenes, but then we suddenly have Hal Jordan arriving here as the Spectre. Now, this is why I wanted to bring this up because for a lot of people who are getting into Jeff Johns' Green Lantern Rebirth, the question is, how does the Spectre fit into this? How do we get from point A to point B? What's the connection here? Well, the connection here is a story called Emerald Twilight, as well as 0 Hour, and then Final Night. Because of the fact that Hal Jordan just wasn't selling that well in the realm of comics, with Superman basically being killed off, DC said, well, you know what? Let's use this. I mean, if we're going to kill off Superman, then, let's get rid of Hal Jordan. Let's use this as a chance to basically have like an unofficial crisis, where we begin to sort of get rid of these heroes that we really can't do anything with. The problem was that Hal Jordan was the Green Lantern. I mean, he was the most popular of all the Green Lanterns, despite the fact that his comics didn't sell that well. And so because of that, DC couldn't just kill him. They just basically had to put him on the back burner. So what they did is they said, okay, during the events, during the fallout of the death of Superman, called Reign of the Superman, in addition to Cyborg Superman basically being the main bad guy, we're going to have him pair up with a villain named Mongol. They're going to destroy Coast City. Hal Jordan's going to come back, find out his city and his home and everybody he knows has ever been destroyed. And then he's going to recreate it. The Guardians of the Universe are going to chastise him for it. And then in his grief, he's basically going to lash out and he's going to destroy all the Green Lanterns and he's going to kill all the Guardians of the Universe. Now, during that time, he basically started calling himself Parallax, because back during the events of Emerald Twilight, Parallax, prior to Jeff Johns' run, was just a name that Hal Jordan gave himself. It was just, I'm calling myself Parallax now. And it was kind of cool at the time because it seemed pretty edgy, but he essentially just kind of destroyed his Green Lantern ring, was like, I have absolute power now. I don't need to be a Green Lantern. I'm better than all of them. Took on this immense amount of energy. And in doing so, Gambit reassembled his ring and gave it to Kyle Rayner. And that's where Kyle Rayner came in as the next Green Lantern. So again, it was really kind of DC setting the stage and saying, okay, let's go ahead and do this soft reboot. Now, following Emerald Twilight, DC also sat down and said, okay, we have a lot of continuity issues after Crisis on Infinite Earths, but we only have one universe right now. So let's basically just blink the universe out of existence, bring it back. And after the universe comes back, we'll give the fans a
I don't know what to do with that.
When events took place, we'll have sort of
I'll get around to it, but
different things like that. That was called 0 Hour Crisis in Time. But because of the fact that Hal Jordan was still kind of around, he was still kind of there, just lingering in the background, DC was looking at the sales of Green Lantern under Kyle Rayner, and they were looking at the former sales of Green Lantern under Hal Jordan. They said, which one is more popular? Well, at the time, Kyle Rayner was creating constructs that people had never seen in a Hal Jordan comic before. Kyle Rayner was creating these giant robots and these really intricate things because the backstory of his character was that he was an artist. He wasn't just some Air Force pilot who was relatively unimaginative. And so because of that, his comic outsold Hal Jordan's by leaps and bounds. And so DC said, okay, fine, time for Hal Jordan to go. And so they launched a story called Final Night, where Hal Jordan basically just sacrificed his life to reignite the sun. And that was it. That was the end of Hal Jordan. We never really saw or heard from him again. Following this, DC basically merged him with a being called the Spectre. And then they said, okay, let's go ahead and start bringing it back now. There was a little bit of time, while this happened. But as the Spectre, he just kind of appeared, occasionally as the judgment of God, and he would carry out these things. Again, DC just kind of keeping him on the back burner. And so that's why he appears here as the Spectre, because he's basically possessed by the spirit of God's judgment. And all he really does is just go around and impose God's judgment on people proportional to what their acts are. Of course, what he says here with Black Hand is, you're essentially a thief. And because we're going to burn away the one thing that you value most, we're taking your hand. And so he literally just turns his hand to ash, turns it to coal, and burns it away. And so, again, with Oliver Queen, because of the fact that Oliver Queen and Hal Jordan had shared a publication together, they had a lot of crossover. They had a lot of, events that happened between the two of them, especially with things like Snowbirds Don't Fly, where it was revealed that Roy Harper was addicted to heroin. Because of that, the two of them have a lot of history together. So really, if anybody knows Hal Jordan the best here, it's probably, Oliver Queen. And he's going to be a pretty important character here. But more so than him, I think it's really going to be Kyle Rayner as the most important. But, while Jon Stewart and Guy Gardner are spending time at Guy Gardner's bar called The Warriors, it was really kind of this cool hangout similar to like Nowhere from DC or from Marvel Comics, except it was stationed on Earth. His powers basically kind of begin to go awry. His powers begin to go insane to the point that he doesn't really seem to be able to control them. Lets off a massive amount of energy and what seems to be an explosion. Now, following this, we basically pick up with just some pilot flying across or, flying over Coast City. When he comes to the realization that Coast City has effectively been recreated. I
need a picture of a bowler hat.
It's not,
that's kind of a bowler hat.
There, but the buildings, the street lights, a lot of the things.
You can have it removable if you like, so it sits on. No, it wouldn't work.
What's going on? What's happening?
Because of the hair.
Jumping back to Guy Gardner, in the Justice League of America Watchtower, he's, being held by, Dr. Midnight, by John Jones, Superman, Batman. They're all there trying to figure out what's going on. And what they do is they come to the realization that his body just kind of seems to be restructuring itself. His body seems to be, reforming. For whatever reason, the alien DNA that was so prevalent there is fighting against his human DNA. Now, in truth, this is Jeff Johns basically, doing this thing where his body is effectively being purified. So he's going back to just human Guy Gardner and setting the stage for him to return, to being a Green Lantern. But more so than that, we pick up with the Flash meeting with Aquaman. Now, the crazy thing about this is, keep in mind, this is not Barry Allen. This is Wally West Flash. And, as they're going through Coast City, what we find out is that one of the buildings the building that's currently constructed here is a building where the address is 22C View. The reason why this matters is because this was the home of Hal Jordan's old apartment. And so the inclination that's being sent off to Batman, at least what he's picking up in terms of what's going on in Coast City, is that for whatever reason, Hal Jordan is going through and just restructuring old points of his life, which basically tell everybody that Hal Jordan's coming back. Now, the reason why this is a huge deal is because, remember, the last time the Justice League saw Hal Jordan, he was trying to kill them all as Parallax. He was trying to wipe them all out. And so it's like, oh my God, if Hal Jordan's coming back, if Parallax is coming back, it means he's probably going to try to wipe out the universe again, or at the very least, they simply just don't trust him, or at least Batman doesn't trust him. Now, switching focus here, Jeff Johns puts a lot of emphasis on Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart is a guy whose loyalty is of the extreme, in the sense that once Jon Stewart believes that you're a person worth standing up for, he'll stand up for you no matter what goes on. And this is what he does with Batman. Batman's like, we can't trust Hal Jordan. He's bad-mouthing him left and right. Jon Stewart steps up and says, enough is enough. You're going to have respect for Hal Jordan. The reason why is because as Batman, he exists based on fear. In order for anybody to believe that he's legitimate, they have to be afraid of him. But Hal Jordan, as a Green Lantern, his entire purpose is to fight fear. And so if he's resistant to the fear that Batman puts off, or at least to the persona that Batman throws off, then in the eyes of Hal Jordan, Batman is just a billionaire who's still sad that his parents died. That's all Bruce Wayne is to Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan still respected him to a degree, but when it comes down to hero versus hero, what each one stands for, John Stewart sees through Batman's guise. Hal Jordan saw through Batman's guise. Anybody who had to fight willpower for literally just to maintain their abilities saw right through Batman's guise. He was just a guy who was super smart, dressed up as a bat, and had to face off against a crazy guy who dressed as a Joker every once in a while. So again, with this little bit, what we end up doing is we basically pick up with Hal Jordan coming across Carol Ferris. Now, this is just a quick little thing, where he basically reintroduces himself to her. It's really just kind of, again, Jeff Johns setting the stage and saying, hey, some bigger things are going to be coming. But Jeff Johns also sits down and says, hey guys, there's a lot of history here. So he really just kind of runs over the history between the two. Now, initially, when Hal Jordan talks to her, he says, hey, tell me about the time that we first met. And she says, well, it was when you were a pilot, you were working at my dad's office, and you hit on me when everybody else was afraid of me and that kind of thing. But no, Hal Jordan says, think back further, the time that we really first met. And this is, again, really Jeff Johns saying, hey, in the youth of Hal Jordan, he first met Carol Ferris when Carol's father was running an Air Force base, told Hal Jordan's father to continue piloting a jet that was experiencing, some technical issues, and the jet exploded and Hal Jordan's father died. Now, what Jeff Johns is actually going to do later on is write a story called Green Lantern Secret Origins, and that's really going to kind of come back for a lot of stuff for Hal Jordan and sort of reinvigorate that and bring things back up again. But again, it's really gives us a lot of cool insight in terms of Hal Jordan, with regards to how he views the world, and saying that for him, his father was always, a major focal point of his life, and he always wanted to basically make his father proud. But for him, because of everything that had happened, when he became
that's a good idea. It doesn't really matter. I just needed to find how to do the shape.
Cloak and dagger here. He's being very mysterious in a lot of different ways. And in fact, we'll find out why here in a little bit, because we'll learn this is not actually Hal Jordan in the traditional sense. Instead, we essentially have Zatanna of the Justice League, telling everybody, hey, here is where Hal Jordan's located at. Now, the other half of this is we also have Alan Scott. This is really kind of cool because Jeff Johns sits down and says, hey guys, remember, Alan Scott is not a traditional Green Lantern like John Stewart, Guy Gardner, or Hal Jordan. Instead, his powers are tied to mysticism. They're not tied to rings created by the Guardians of the Universe. And so because of this, I wouldn't say he's not as powerful so much as he's just like, he's an orange compared to a banana. And so because of this, he says, look, what's going on here is something that I can't necessarily cope with because I don't fully understand, it is, how their rings work. All I really understand is my ring is based in mysticism and that kind of thing. And so again, because of the fact that Zatanna, DC's major, mystical character, one of their major mystical characters, locates Hal Jordan, it's basically the entire Justice League showing up and responding to it. Now, initially the Justice League starts to question him to a degree. And we, of course, have Hal Jordan, kind of converting to the Spectre, and we learn that there is this huge inner argument, this huge fight for the soul of Hal Jordan going on inside his own physical body, fighting for his soul. More so than that, we basically have, the body of Guy Gardner continuing to fight itself to the point that the human aspect of it wins on. And so what ends up happening here is the ring of Hal Jordan basically splits, it duplicates itself, and then it latches onto Guy Gardner, and we officially have Guy Gardner coming back as a Green Lantern. So again, this is Jeff Johns saying, hey guys, Guy Gardner's back to being a Green Lantern again. That whole warrior thing, gone. Like he is a Green Lantern in the traditional sense, as you guys have all come to know him. Now, the other half of this is, again, we have Jeff Johns coming along and saying, hey, there's a lot more to this picture here. That's why I say this run is insane, because there's so much that goes on. But we have, basically Kilowog showing up here as part of the Green Lantern Corps, meeting with Kyle Rayner after he had fallen to Earth. But we also have Gantlet appearing here. And we essentially learned that Kyle Rayner coming to Earth and leaving the sun was designed to, for him to be in possession of the coffin of Hal Jordan, that when he had gone to the sun, when he had sacrificed his life, that his body had remained in stasis. But the version that we're basically seeing running around right now, that's the spirit. That's really kind of like the spiritual manifestation of Hal Jordan in terms of how he relates to the Spectre. More so than that, we're actually going to get a lot of backstory here in terms of, parallax, of how all that stuff comes into the equation. Now, this is why I say things are kind of cool and things run kind of crazy, because, in the mind of Hal Jordan, not only is he, does he...
Pause that there. Okay, what kind of head? Do you want a big head or little head or sort of sizable head? Because it's going to be a pineapple, so it could stay as that size, but it could be something like that size. And then the hair of a pineapple up here, like. What do you reckon, bud? What do you fancy? Big head or a little head? Well, a medium-sized head. You know what I mean? It's going to be a little bit large because it's a pineapple. It's going to be a weird shape as well because it's a pineapple. What do you reckon there, buddy? Are you happy with that top hat, or would you rather have a bowler? In between. So like ish there, I'd say. Okay, let's just get rid of all of that. Get rid of it all. I don't need it. It's only a circle. All right, let's quickly put that back in, and then we'll go like that. And then we'll put his hair, so we'll just put a strand up, and then we'll put strand out, strand out. So we'll have a, give me a second. What the friggin' hell does a pineapple look like? I need a picture of a pineapple, pineapple. There we go. There's a punk pineapple. I know I've got one in here. Or have I? I do not. Why don't I have a picture of a pineapple? I'll have to find one. Let's go on the internet and have a look at a pineapple. References. Pineapple. We'll go cartoon, I think. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that's what I thought it'd be. That's the kind of fluff I was going for. Pick a pineapple. 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Head 4, that one there. Okay. Yes, top hat looks good, and head 4. Okay, cool. We're back on with some Green Lantern, and I'll carry on sketching. We're only in 20 minutes. That's awesome. 47 minutes. I'm not.
This specter latched onto his body, but again, he's also fighting.
I'm not really timing anything today. It takes as long as it takes today. I might get around to inking it. It all depends on how I feel. I'm kind of happy with the way the design's going so far. But yeah, let's keep going.
Against the spiritual entity of Parallax.
Hopefully you are happy with the design as well, buddy.
As it initially appears here, is still very much a part of who he is. And he's constantly fighting against this darker side of himself. But again, Jeff Johns is actually coming back, or at least what he does is he comes back and he changes a lot of this, because we have Kyle Rayner meeting with Oliver Queen. And Oliver Queen says, okay, look, if that's the physical body of Hal Jordan there, then who is the Hal Jordan that's, out there right now dealing with the Justice League? And what Kyle Rayner does is he basically, he's a vector for Jeff Johns to retcon a lot of the history when it came to Yellow and the Green Lantern mythos. And what I mean here is that for decades and decades, Green Lanterns were their rings were weak to the color yellow, and it was just a yellow impurity. That was the only real explanation that was given. It's the reason why Sinestro, back before, long before, really, before Crisis on Infinite Earths, he had created a ring that was yellow, because it was basically the weakness of the Green Lanterns. It's not any one thing in particular. It's just the Green Lanterns couldn't really cope against it. And so because of this,
weakness to the color yellow. What stupid.
Parallax is an actual entity. Parallax is an actual being. That at the beginning of time, there was this sentient organism.
I've never understood that.
fear of all
Glad
living
they
things.
changed it.
Now, because of the fact that the Guardians of the Universe have become aware of this Parallax entity was wreaking havoc across the universe, they in turn forged the Central Power Battery, and it's one of the reasons why they created the Green Lanterns, just because of the fact that the Green Lanterns powered by willpower would be able to combat all fear that existed in the universe. But because of the fact that Parallax was inherently fear himself, and because willpower fights against fear, because as long as there are people in the universe, there will be fear.
Before I start putting the pineapple parts to it, do you want glasses? Do you want big mouth? Probably having a nose is going to be difficult, but yeah, I can put a nose in there if you wish. But yeah, do you want glasses? Do you want sunglasses? Do you want just ordinary eyes? Do you want cartoon eyes? Do you want googly eye types? Do you want to suggest something, mate? Completely your idea. It's just I'm just drawing it for you. I mean, I see on your pineapple, man, you've got on your actual profile, you've got sunglasses. Do you want similar sunglasses to that? Mouth and glasses. Glasses as in these kind of glasses. Or sunglasses. I'm thinking sunglasses would be a bit off if he's wearing a suit. But again, up to you. People do wear sunglasses and suits. Yep. Is that a yes to sunglasses or yes to glasses? Glasses. Okay. Okay, basically the same thing. You just don't shade out the eyes. Okay, let's get on with some more Green Lantern while I do some more sketching.
It was basically impossible to destroy Parallax in the traditional sense. And so what the Guardians of the Universe did is they basically locked him inside the Central Power Battery and kept him confined there, which they in turn used to go on and create the Green Lantern Corps. And what Jeff Johns says is this is the reason why Green Lanterns were weak to the color yellow. Not because it's just some enigmatic yellow impurity out there somewhere, but because much like dropping ink in a bottle of water, all it's going to do is just kind of eventually move itself out to the point that it basically, it spreads all throughout every ounce of water.
Okay, I'm going to go through a few different sort of ideas for glasses a second. We've got, the square ones, or sort of rectangular. We've got circular ones, or bigger circular ones. That's kind of why I did them bigger. But yeah, do you want what kind of like frame to the glasses would you like? Because like I say, you've got squares, you've got circles, you can have stars. You can have any shape you like, but because it's your design and your idea. Go hog wild with it. Square, like that square, or actual squares? No, there's color in here. I'm going to get that in there. Like that. There you go. Got color. Color in there. First one. That one. Okay. rectangular-ish. It's got a neck. It's kind of like. just one. There's the voices in my head right now. Now. Right. Do you want a big open mouth? Do you want like so like a big old open mouth, or do you want a like a screaming open mouth, a couple of teeth in there? Oh, the teeth would be there, like. Or do you want him like a big old smile like this? Or do you want what else could I do? Like a half looking smile over there. Dumb guy smile. Dumb guy smile. Dumb guy smile. So like this. This one here. You really know what you mean by dumb guy smile. I probably said that and didn't realise, but yeah, that one there. SpongeBob style teeth. Okay. Let's have a look where I can find SpongeBob. Sponge. Go away. Hello, Jazza. Yes, I will watch you later. Ever heard of Draw with Jazza? It's kind of inspired me to start my own channel, really. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob. Yay! Oh, okay. 2 teeth. Like, oh, dumb man smile. Now I see what you mean. The dumb man smile. The dumb guy smile. The SpongeBob smile. Okay, right. That's going to be interesting to create in clay. But I am actually happy for the challenge. So yeah, cool, nice one. So you want something like, I'll just quickly draw it out on the side here. So we like with like and something like the old mouth, and over here, and then how many teeth do you want? When it's literally bog stand, literal copy, or do you want like a tooth down here? Something like. I like you've gone with the dumb man smile though, dumb guy smile, because it. I thought he was going to be quite serious with this. That means I can be a little bit silly with it, which is good. Sponge, with yes, think with the bottom teeth as well. So something like. Okay. Teeth would have to. That is hideous. Dog, what are you doing? Go and have a panic attack somewhere else. Go drink, have a drink. So my dog's freaking out, so I can probably something. Probably what's wrong with you? Huh? Weirdo. Yes you are. You're a bloody weirdo. You are. Chill out. Chill. Go and have a drink. I'm stuck in your throat. Trying to eat the bloody. Don't eat the carpet. Go lay down or something. Or puke. One of the two. You're going to do one of them. Good girl. Go lay down. Don't eat that carpet though. Making yourself sick, you weirdo. Lay down. Lay down. It's not that time yet, dog. It's not even close to that time yet. Okay. Right, I was doing SpongeBob. Where's my image of SpongeBob gone? There it is. So with the teeth underneath, what are we saying there? Oh, we've got a little conversation going on. I think the bottom teeth as well. Yep, real. Like 2 teeth, bottom 2 up. Yes. What Artemis said. Sorry about that. If you can hear that in the background, the dog's. She's looking for attention. That's all she's doing it for. She does that quite often, unfortunately. Oh, give me attention, but I'm so poorly, but I need something, but it's because she sits in the sun all bloody day and then gets hot. I thought that's what you meant. Okay, so 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top. So someone like. I'm going to get rid of that a minute. Could I say the mouth could take most of the face up? Is that something that you would be okay with? If you want that kind of smile. Okay, you can pick a style of mouth. As you like SpongeBob. You've got yes. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Do you want that kind of open mouth? Do you want that kind of mouth? So 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4. The only really 2 styles he has is that and that, really. So 1, 2, 3. One. And there goes the pictures. Lovely. Cheers for that. Get some images up. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty much the same mouth every time, isn't it? Just anytime it's different. Yeah, let's go the open mouth taking up most of the face. Yeah, cool, mate. Where did I get that picture? Where is it gone? There it is. Basic SpongeBob. Something like that. Let's give him, because he's facing. I should have done him side facing. Would have been easier. So I'll have start of a mouth there, because he's not having a nose, because that's facing the side. Because artists are clever, you see. When you do a face, don't ever do it straight on, because it's the worst way to draw it. And if I draw the mouth, she's eating. Stop it! What is wrong with you, dog? Stop it! Yeah, have one of these. Shut up. You're obviously panicking about something, aren't you? Come here. Stop eating the carpet. Bad for you. What's that? Carpet? There, that. Not. Oh, are you hungry? Is that what it is? I'll give you some biscuits. You snacking? Sorry about this, guys. Problems of being live. Here, dog. Are you hungry? You get a bit of a hiccups. Your belly empty. Dog, I can't baby you today. What's wrong with you? I'm going to put that in the background, guys, while I sort my dog out. Doggo. Come.
In that bottle. The Green Lanterns were basically infected by Parallax. Not only that, Hal Jordan was the greatest of the Green Lanterns, and like a cold coming on over the course of 3 days, Parallax just kind of began to seep its way into Hal Jordan, and every time he used the ring. And so because of this, Hal Jordan was quite literally being poisoned by the Parallax entity that was slowly possessing him, to the point that when Emerald Twilight happened, it was the perfect opportunity for Parallax to seize absolute control. And so when that happened, that's when Hal Jordan became Parallax. So, what Geoff Johns is saying here is that instead of Emerald Twilight simply saying that Hal Jordan just declared himself Parallax, instead, Hal Jordan was actually possessed by the Parallax entity. Now, in terms of how it was the Parallax entity was able to escape, with Hal Jordan going in and destroying the Central Power Battery, it was kind of eating that. People were like, well, how did he get out? How did this happen? And so what we end up learning here is that the escape of Parallax was not arbitrary. The escape of Parallax was not accidental. The escape of Parallax was actually engineered by Sinestro himself. And so what this does is this, again, allows Sinestro to be introduced as part of Geoff Johns' Green Lantern Rebirth, and he's really just kind of grabbing all these different themes and dragging all these different themes in together. Now, with regards to Sinestro going against Oliver Queen and Kyle Rayner here, to be quite honest, I wouldn't go as far as to say that either one of these guys stand a chance. And in fact, Oliver Queen, we know, wouldn't. And Kyle Rayner even says, hey, look, I'm not really sure I'm ready for this. He can defend, but Kyle Rayner is pretty exhausted and pretty weakened at the moment. And so the idea of him fending off against one of the greatest Green Lanterns to have ever existed, this now turned evil, really seems a lot like a fool's errand. And so again, it's really just an instance of Sinestro kind of toying with Oliver Queen, toying with Kyle Rayner, as he's going through with the intention of eventually taking the body of Hal Jordan with him. Now, on the other side of this, we still have Hal Jordan battling this entity of Parallax, trying to find a way to win out his own soul. But again, we also have Guy Gardner, we have John Stewart coming into the fray in an attempt to try to free him. Now, the other part of this is that because of the fact that the Parallax entity was basically free running, it was just kind of running around, it had seized control of John Stewart, it had seized control of Guy Gardner for a time, but eventually were able to, to break free. And so in response to this, because of the fact that there are so many superheroes out there who are afraid of the return of Parallax, we basically have all hands on deck here. I mean, we have Dr. Fate, we have Superman, Wonder Woman, Zatanna, Supergirl, Robin, we have Superboy, Cyborg. Everybody who can fight is here. Because in truth, if Parallax is coming back, it would take the combined effort of all of them to really hold off. And so it's really just kind of two different battles happening in two locations. We have Sinestro going against Kyle Rayner and Green Arrow, and we have the entirety of the Justice League going against what they believe to be Parallax Reborn in the form of Hal Jordan. Now, the cool thing about this is that the rings run on willpower, but it's not an easy thing. And that's what Geoff Johns establishes here. You can't just pick up a ring and say, I have willpower, and then suddenly become a Green Lantern. It's a mentally exhausting feat. This is proven when Oliver Queen, was able to use the ring for an instant and summon an arrow and shoot it at Sinestro. But that's it. Now, of course, Kyle Rayner basically grabs him and they just kind of race off just for the very preservation of their lives. But Oliver asked the question, is it that mentally exhausting every single time you use the ring? And Kyle says yes, every single time. Like, it takes practice, but it is a mentally exhausting thing to maintain such willpower, especially when you're going against overwhelming odds. Now, again, what we get here with, switching back to Hal Jordan, what Jeff Johns gives us here is this really cool situation where it's just this inner battle between Hal Jordan, the Spectre, and Parallax. Not only that, we actually find out that the Spectre bonding itself to Hal Jordan was for a purpose. Parallax is a wildly powerful entity that could quite literally lay waste to the universe. The Spectre bonding with Hal Jordan was for the purpose of giving Hal Jordan a fighting chance to fight off Parallax. It was giving him power that he wouldn't normally have under his own circumstances. Now, of course, we also have Gantlet, the Guardians of the Universe, making an appearance here, coming back basically to try to fight off, try to help defend against Parallax. But it was really just kind of Jeff Johns saying, hey, look, this is why Hal Jordan became the Spectre. It wasn't arbitrary, it wasn't some plot device. It was an effort to literally keep him alive. And so where Hal Jordan's able to fight off the Parallax entity and the Spectre basically just kind of like bails off to go fulfill its role as the judge of God because of the fact that it essentially helped Hal Jordan achieve his goal of getting rid of the Parallax entity from within his own soul. Parallax basically merges with Gantlet under the idea that Gantlet made the case that the Spectre's power is almost non-existent in comparison to his own. And so because of this, Hal Jordan is actually, offered the afterlife. He's really kind of greeted with the afterlife, the possibility of leaving. And in fact, Gantlet really kind of entices him with this. He's really kind of like, follow my voice. Yes, go to the afterlife. And Hal Jordan does that. But the reason is not so that he'll die. The reason is that so his spirit will effectively be cleansed. Because what Hal Jordan needs to know is that as a superhero, as a Green Lantern, he did all the right things. That the Parallax entity possessing him was not his fault. He was literally just a guy in mourning, and in this mourning, in this experience that he had, he was in a position where he was easy to be taken advantage of. And that's exactly what Parallax did. And so as he's kind of transitioning this afterlife experience, he talks with Abin Sur. He talks with his father. He talks with these extremely important people that play pivotal roles in his life. And when he emerges, he basically comes out as the Green Lantern. Of course, Oliver Queen is wearing the ring, trying to use it as best he can. But the ring whisks off of him. And when it does, it goes racing to Hal Jordan's physical body. And his spirit basically merges with his body. It's finally Hal Jordan returned back to who he was before. And this is Jeff Johns saying, now we're off to the races. Hal Jordan is back. Let's go. Like, let's do this. And it's so cool because we get this Hal Jordan versus Sinestro. It's not a battle for the ages, but it's a great way to have this story go because the two have been enemies for so long. And it's really Hal Jordan saying, look, Sinestro, I realize how capable you are. I realize how powerful you are, but I'm fighting for something greater. I'm fighting for friends. I'm fighting for family. I'm fighting for those that I love. Not only that, it's really just, kind of Hal Jordan giving us this speech, giving this beautiful inner monologue, where he's saying things like, it's good to have this ring back again. It feels like I'm back to who I was. It feels like I am myself again. It's like waking up out of a dream. And so ultimately, as he's going against Sinestro, he's actually successful, with help from Kyle Rayner in defeating Sinestro. And so the idea was that, at least to Kyle Rayner anyway, the idea seemed to be that Sinestro was basically destroyed. Of course, we find out that was not the case. That Sinestro was essentially sent back to the antimatter universe, sent back to court. And that was really kind of the end of the road for him, at least for the time being anyway. It's Jeff Johns basically saying he's going to come back later on. But this is also the first time that we get to see Kyle Rayner and Hal Jordan meet in the traditional sense, where Kyle Rayner, the Green Lantern, meets Hal Jordan, the iconic Green Lantern. Now, the funny thing about this is that, again, Kyle Rayner is a great Green Lantern, but he's new. He's the new guy. He doesn't have the experience. He doesn't have the wisdom. And in a lot of ways, he doesn't have the confidence that Hal Jordan had. And so when he sits down, he says, look, I don't know if I'm capable of this. I don't know if I'm the kind of person that can really be an effective Green Lantern. I don't know if I'm a person that has what it takes to overcome great fear. And this is why Hal Jordan is probably the best of the Green Lanterns, not because of his fighting, not because of his ability to create solid constructs or go against great enemies. It's his ability to inspire people to follow him. Because what he tells Kyle Rayner is, you flew from one side of the universe to the other. You fought Sinestro one-on-one and lived to talk about it. What do you think you've been doing? You've basically been staring death in the face, and you've been fighting. If anybody here has been overcoming their fear, it's you. All you have to do is realize you've been overcoming your fear. And it inspires Kyle Rayner, and he's like, let's go. And so he takes off, with Hal Jordan. And they basically race off to fight this Guardian of the Year, or fight Gantlet, possessed by Parallax. And again, that really seemed to be what Gantlet was shooting for, was we need to find a way to unite the Green Green Lanterns together, or at least what's left of the Corps. We have to unite Kilowog. We have to unite Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, John Stewart, Hal Jordan. Bring them all together and have them face off against the Parallax entity. And that's exactly what they do. Now, initially, the Justice League tries to jump in. The Justice League tries to step in and say, hey, we got to do something. We got to become involved in this in some form or fashion. And, of course, Alan Scott says something and says, no, you are not going to have a hand in this. And the reason why is because this is a Green Lantern affair. This is one of the first times that all of these guys are fighting together or really the first time since Hal Jordan came back. Hal Jordan needs to remember what it means to be a Green Lantern. He needs to remember what he's capable of. And so because of this, he alongside Kilowog and John Stewart and Guy Gardner, it's really just kind of Jeff Johns saying, hey guys, here is where things are now. Here is the Green Lantern mythos going forward. They face off against Parallax, and they effectively banish the entity, temporarily. Of course, it's not a permanent thing because, it seems almost impossible to completely kill him. Instead, they effectively just kind of banish him back to the Central Battery Core, and that's really it. He's really confined to where he was before. Yes, it does return the yellow impurity for a time. It's Hal Jordan showing Batman, Superman, the rest of the Justice League that, yes, he's back, but he's not Parallax. He's here to be a hero. He's here to be a good guy. And so, again, this is really just kind of Jeff Johns setting the stage and saying, hey, guys, here's where things are going to go from this point going forward.
Welcome to the Resistance.
No. I'm not having an advert making me have copyright.
Oh my God, Rockport. I've had no sleep. I'm running on 0 hours of sleep.
He's running on 0 hours sleep. Good for him. Right. I can't think of anything else that needs to be put on there now. I think I've asked you all the questions. What kind of mouth and thing and pose and what you want on there. Is there anything you feel like I've missed on that picture? Anything else you want to add to it? I will need to ink this. Thank you very much for that like there. I will need to ink this out. I'll ink it out with my inking pens and stuff. But we're an hour and 16. I technically it's 3:30. I could go on for a little bit longer and ink it, but I want to kind of make it nice and posh. So I want to take my time on it. Let's give you a zoom in. You can have a proper look. Okay, so like I said, there's your choices of mouths, and you chose like a SpongeBob type mouth, wide open and goofy. Got his pineapple there. Again, you can select different glasses if you wish. And there's the mouth I did originally draw. The teeth. I got his suit and things. Are you happy with the tails? Do you want more buttons? Do you want less buttons? Do you want buttons on the jacket? The cuffs. Do you want cuffs? Do you not want cuffs? I mean, when I say cuffs, I mean these here. Do you want any particular style of glove? Do you want fingerless gloves? Or like you do in some of the old Disney films where they would have like one finger missing because for whatever reason they had a finger missing out of their glove. I think it was to show they were poor. But anyway, Fagin gloves, I think they called them. Do you like his belt? Top hat. Are you happy with the top hat, or would you rather have a bowler? The hand, obviously, is going to have to go around the cane. Again, do you want to change the cane top, or do you want it curled over like it is? We've got the trousers. Is there any kind of shoe that you want? Do you want to have him goofy shoes? Do you want him having smart shoes like he already has on? I don't think this needs pockets because it's got so much going on as it is. I can give it pockets if you wish. Again, I can give it a little pocket, breast pocket up here. Something like that. But that's the bowler hat. And there's the top hat. Let me know, bud. Camera, go where I put you. Camera, do it. Thank you. Camera, do it. Thank you. Camera, do it. Thank you. Why does everything break when I touch it and I don't want it to? Hello. There we go. Nope, it looks great. Okay, they always had a 4 fingers instead of 5 because they figured it looked more symmetrical. I think I was reading an article about it. Yeah, you're completely right about that. Most cartoon characters or characters they have 3 fingers purely because the little finger, they don't see the point in it. Because it's, well, if you take away that, you don't technically. I mean, you kind of do need your little finger. I need it because I use it for so many different things with my nail on it. But yeah, you don't technically need that finger ever. Or I mean, you do use it, but think about how many times you use it. I only use it when I hold my phone. That's the only time. Or if I grip something, or if I need to pick someone up. Well, that's what you use fingers for. But yeah, you are kind of right there, Artemis. They do. They do only use 3 fingers. I mean, I can put 3. They're Mr. Pineapple Man, or Sir Pineapple first. I can give him 3 fingers if that's where you prefer. But if you want the 4 fingers, it makes no real difference to me. I can just add a finger, take a finger. It's nothing major. But yeah, you happy with everything on there? Is anything you want to add? Because I feel like I want to add a little breast pocket up here, just to be annoying to myself. Does it look okay? Something like that, with a little kerchief up the top, hanging out the top of it. Buttons. His shirt doesn't need buttons because it's like more a ruffle. But I won't leave it like that. More of a ruffle. Trousers. Yeah, I can't really see much I can add to this other than stuff that you would suggest. I mean, we could start talking about colors. Really? We can start talking about, because this is the design stage of things. This is where I always start with stages of doing illustrations, illustrations, digital drawings, clay models, VR creations. Everything that's in any of my books have all been made, all been digitized to a degree. They've all been made in VR, as long as I can make them in VR, because they're makeable in VR and stuff. Yeah, and everything as I'm going through the years, I pick a different picture each time to make up on the clay. But this one's going to be extremely fun to do, because I do like the idea of a pineapple man. I like the idea of having a cane so he stands freestanding. I like the bowler hat, because I've never really made one, but it's a bowler hat, it's not going to be hard. And if I make it right, it should look all right. Right, so we're going to get into more of the designing side of it now. So what kind of color would you want? The color, do you want, let's get these pictures back up for the pineapple. Do you want more of a yellow pineapple? Do you want the color, actually, technically, no, I like it. You like it as it is, okay. Yeah, there's a little delay on the stream. Do you want your pineapple to be like more orangey, more like your actual pineapple on your profile picture? A bit more yellow. Do you want orange? Do you want a bit more of a, I don't know, what kind of color hair is he going to have? Is he going to have green hair? Is he going to have color of your picking. What color is his shirt going to be? What color is his waistcoat going to be? What color is his overcoat going to be? Or is it an overcoat? I think that's what they called him. What color is his trousers going to be? His top hat, glasses. Well, that's probably going to be black, but glasses, I can make them a different color. And his cane and his shoes. What kind of color do you want for the lot of it? You give you time to reply there. It's cool. Yeah, well, what colors do you want the clothing to be and everything else, bud? From a straight line, can't draw an arrow. That's good, isn't it? Top hat. So cane. Alexa, how do you spell cane?
Cane is spelled C-A-N-E.
Oh, I mean. So his cane's going to be, and his trousers are going to be. I'm going to ask Alexa for all the questions. Alexa, how do you spell trousers?
Trousers is spelled T-R-O-U-S-E-R-S.
Trousers. Okay, top hat. Pineapple head. Pineapple head. Color is that going to be? Is we've got his and his shirt as well. So yeah, his so what's this? Over jacket, shirt. Shirt. It's not very good for writing. Good for drawing, but no good for writing. Shirt. What's this? Waistcoat. What do we reckon? Oh, you've let me know there. Oh, shoes. Shoes. I think stick with green for hair like my profile picture. Okay, because it looks yellow, but okay. So green for where am I to? For the hair like my profile picture. Color for hands and head. Oh, so like okay, let me read that second. Head. So hang on. I think stick with green for hair like my profile picture. Color for hands like my profile picture. So you want picture hands pink shirt, back waistcoat. Do you mean black waistcoat? So pink shirt. So she want the shirt to be pink. The waistcoat is going to be black. The pineapple is going to be yellow and green. No, of course. And then we've got black waistcoat and glasses, black shoes, black suit, blue. Are you sure you want a black waistcoat and a black suit? Because it's going to contrast quite a lot. I didn't even ask. Did you want your jacket to be open and flowing, or did you want it to be closed with a button? Because if that waistcoat's black, and you've got your jacket suit, so the trousers and top, that's black as well. You'll have black on pink. If that makes any sense. You kind of want a kind of little bit of a different. I'll quickly, if I can get that picture up again, show you what I mean. You want to kind of contrast the colors a little bit. You don't want too much dark. If you're gonna have a waistcoat, that is. That's the jacket underneath the jacket. But I think you already know that. Oh, it'd be nice to be able to find what I'm looking for. Fuck's sake. Can I just do I have to have this? There it is. Okay, right. Yeah, like I was telling you there, bud. He's got a red. I mean, you can have a pink one, but think of that all black, and then a black waistcoat, and then a pink shirt. The only thing that'll actually show is the pink shirt. But you won't really notice the waistcoat unless it's a free-flowing jacket, of course. But then again, it's a lot of black in one place. You could have like the whole suit could be black, like a. There we go, like that. Or do you want like? Zoom in on that one. So we've got that there. Again, because he's got a black suit, they haven't gone with black trousers. They've gone with grey. It's cane color. And stuff like that. And bow tie. Oh, I didn't even. What's his bow tie color? Is bow tie going to be? Bow tie, because I can't spell tie. Okay, what we got here? We've got pink color. Okay, you've got to check your spellings a little bit, buds. So what have we already chose here on what have we chose? What colors have we got? So we've got hands and head color profile picture, no blues, no blue suit. How do you mean no blue suit? Blue suit? Oh, we want blue. Oh, okay. You just made a misspelling. So you want a blue suit. Suit blue, waist thing black, pink shirt, blue Cheers, Artemis. Yeah, chat's moving. Hang on. So you want a black waistcoat? We've got that one. Top hat. No, okay. There's lots going on in chat. So because both of you are commenting the same thing, I don't know which one I should be picking here. So hands and head color are pro pick. No blue suit. Blue suit. Oh, interesting. So pink shirt and blue suit. That's cool. Yes, art 3. No, the suit is supposed to be blue, not black. Suit blue, waist thing black, pink shirt, black shoes. Right. You got it. Okay, so I am going to go with what Artemis said because it's getting confusing. Do you want yellow? We've got all the yellow for that. We know cane is cane. That's going wood. Brown. Unless you want a candy cane, so it's strips of color. Shoes are black. Jacket is blue. Pink shirt, trousers. Do you want lighter blue trousers or do you want the same color trousers as the shirt, as the over jacket? So like blue, but light blue, dark blue, turquoise. So light blue, okay. I think that's everything. Are you happy with the cane? What do you want with the cane there? I don't think you actually said anything for the cane. What do we think on the cane? Because I've got all the colours now. And I'm going to go, while you ever think of what colour your cane's going to be, I will... Oh, what about the bow tie as well? Cane and the bow tie. What would you like colours to be? You've got a pink shirt, a black undercoat, waistcoat, the over jacket, blue, just normal blue. We've got the trousers, light blue. We've got the shoes are going to be black. What colour is his top hat going to be as well? And a light blue tie and cane like cherry colour. Okay, cherry colour. That's cool. I like that. So cane's going to be cherry. Now we're getting there. We're getting some colours instead of just blue and black and pink. So cherry colour. So did you say anything about hat? Light blue tie. So light blue for the tie. Already done the head. Know about the jacket. Know about the under jacket. Only thing I don't know about now is the hat. Same as the jacket. Okay. So like that, but with blue. So blue. So are we going to go dark blue? Dark blue. And the dark blue here. Dark blue, cherry color, shoes. Yes. I think it's everything then. Everything is ready to be inked up. Because what I'm going to do is I'll ink it all, get rid of all the sketchy lines around it, because that's just design. So when I go around to digitizing it, I've got a good thick color. So if you would like this on top of what you've got, obviously it's a little bit more, because you're going to get those 2 figurines as well, buddy, as you requested. I've started making the armatures for them. I don't think I'll be doing those ones live. I might record them, so I'll post them out at a later date, because I know you want this one figured out, but you don't want those drawn, so I'm not going to go too much into those. But I'll make them off camera and off stream. But this one will be inked and it needs to be colored, and I'll give it a little scene as well. Maybe I'll give it a little scene, just so he's standing there. Is he standing in the street? Is he standing in the... Where is he standing? So where's he standing? Is he standing in the street? Is he standing in a field? Is he standing in a shop somewhere? Is he standing on the moon? You know what I mean? Is he standing in a Jamaican field because he's a pineapple? Pick something, mate. I'm not going to be super detailed, but it'll be something that instead of it being a static picture, unless you want it as a static picture where it's just this design, and I'll take away all of the sketchy lines up around it, and once I've inked it, like I do for every picture. Thank you very much. Green hair. No, I've already done the yellow and green. I've already done the green hair. Yeah, I already know that. A bar, like an old age bar. Old age. Bar's a bar, isn't it? Okay, so in a bar. Again, the picture's not going to change. Everything will be around the picture now, because I've got the design. I've got everything the way I want it drawn. It'll be like this. It's just he'll be standing, say, I don't know, the bar will be up behind him or something, and I'll put like a little mirror or something behind him, and I'll do something like that. So in a bar. What else do I need to ask you? Standing in bar. Because what I'll do is I'll ink it, then I'll do the design afterwards. I mean, technically I could ink this now, and then I'll draw the scene, and I'll come back to color it. Yeah, inking's going to take me a bit of time, so I'll come back. I'll ink it and color it tomorrow maybe, and then draw the scene in afterwards, or at the same time, because nothing's going to be in front of it, it's all going to be behind it. Ideas. A bar, interesting. I hope he's not getting a pina colada. That would be a bit. What's the word? Cannibalism. Going to the bar. Could I have a pina colada, please? You do know that's made with pineapples, sir. Yes, I quite like it. I haven't got a pineapple head for nothing, you know. Right, I don't know how that hat's going to go on his head, mind. Well, actually, I could do it, so go. No, I couldn't. Well, if I put some magnets in it, I probably could get it to go over the top of that and hold in his hand as well. We'll see how that works out. Sorry. Why are you sorry? So I'm going to put like a little bar behind him. Now I'm here. Put him in a little bar. See, let's get a bar. Let's see what a bar looks like. There's one of the pictures that you wanted. Is that right, bud? You want that made, and you want that one there made out of polymer clay. Am I right? Both of those. Like I said, if you want those illustrated and you want this one sent to you, then I'll talk to you over WhatsApp about that one. So we want a bar. Should we have like a sort of cartoon bar? So let's look. Cartoon bar. I can put it in behind it quickly. Bar spelled differently. Am I thinking? Oh, okay. Something like that. Kind of barish. Maybe a few stools behind. Oh, I've got something already in my head. I'm drawing something like that. Nice and simple. Right, we'll put a bar behind him. While I'm here, I may as well draw it. Then I've got everything ready to ink tomorrow. Yeah, we'll just have a full bar behind him. Like that. And then, do you know what? I'm going to start rubbing out some of this. We don't need it now. In fact, I could write all of this on the back. I'm going to get I've got no spare paper, but I've got an envelope, so I'll write it on there. I'll write it on there. I'll write it on there. So I can rub all this off and write it on there. Write it on there. Where's the pen? Why are you never here? You swine. I'm gonna have to go and find my pen. No, not because there's one here. Aha! All right, this isn't my drawing pen. I'm just gonna copy all this down a second. While I think about what I'm gonna draw there. So head is not how you spell head. Head, green, and blue. And we've got his bow tie, which I can't spell. Light blue. Tell me if I'm wrong at any time I say this. So we've got his tie is light blue. Is should we go? We'll go from underneath. So we've got waistcoat. So we shirt. Shirt is pink. Pink, and then waistcoat. Waistcoat. I can't write for love nor money. Right coat black. Waistcoat black. Top hat. No, we've got jacket now. Jacket. Jacket. Dark blue. Dark blue. Top hat, dark blue. And then we got the trousers. So yeah, the trousers. Light blue. Light blue. Shoes. Have I missed anything out? Waistcoat, top hat is dark blue. Dark blue and shoes are black. I think that's everything. Shoes are black. Okay, so we've got head, got the bow tie, got the shirt, got the waistcoat, got the jacket, got the trousers, got the hat. Oh, the cane. Got the shoes and the cane. Cane is going to be cherry. Okay. What are you saying? Yeah, like the liqueur cabinet in the black property. Probably cool. Okay. Tequila, and pineapple juice. He's gonna have a bad hangover after all those pina coladas, pineapple related drinks. Realizing what he did, like, oh god, I just drank my cousin. Oh, the face he would give. Okay, so we got all that, got all the colors, we've got everything. My hands are so sweaty right now, so I'm going to get rid of some of this off my hands because I'm smudging the page, and that's another reason why I want to start doing other things. Get rid of all this now because I know what everything is. Yeah, bar, we'll keep that there. And I just stick in every page and in a bar. In a bar. My fingers are hurting. My thumbs are in. Right, this rubber's crap, but that's fine. Let's give it some of that. It always comes off and looks better once you've inked it. So I'll ink that tomorrow. Got all the, oh my god, what have we done here? Vroom. I'm going to start my car and rev it for an hour. I've just drunk my cut. Yeah. What happened to Jimmy? I don't know. Tastes good though. Oh yeah, we got a little bar, so we'll have the bar stopping around here because he's standing beside it or behind. It's behind him. He's standing there. We'll have a bar stool. Bar stools. We'll have one here. I'll have one here just to make it bloody awkward for myself. I'll have one here. And I think maybe that'll do. I'm so glad I got a picture to draw from. I do like references. If anybody ever says to you, you're drawing or you're finding you're finding things you're finding things problematic, always get yourself a reference. There's nothing wrong with getting yourself a reference. No artist in the world has been able to draw anything, paint anything, create anything without any reference. People are like, oh, you don't draw straight from your brain. Oh, you're not a very good artist. I'm like, shut up, because You got to have some sort of frame of reference to be able to do it. So a stool is like, a bar stool is like something like touching the floor, because that's the floor. Just past it for distance reference. Have it like that. And this is where it starts to get real crap, because I don't know what to do. Make it thinner. There we go. Make that one nice and thin. And we'll put a bar between it for support. Like that. Oh, it's going to have a third leg, isn't it? So how do they get around that? Or I could make it really easy for myself and not do legs like that. Because not all bars have bars like that. Some of them have them like this, look. And then a little circle at the bottom. And like that. There we are, nice and easy. I just want to make things simple for myself. Okay, right down. And down. Let's smarten up a bit. Get that one. We'll go around. Okay, gently so I don't make it up. And then we'll put another one here. Still looking different sizes, but that doesn't matter because they're only sketches. There you go, little bar, sort of. Problem solved. All right, yeah, for that. I shall give him a little jar himself here. What is he drinking? Is he drinking wine or is he drinking beer? Is he drinking a cocktail? I'm gonna give him a pina colada. Oh no! What do you want him to? What do you want him to be drinking? I mean, if I made this into a comic strip, this would be bloody perfect. Because what could happen is like he's walking into the bar, gets his drinks his cousin, whatever, and he's not realizing, and and then he sees all the people drinking pina colada around him, and he's like, oh shit, that's all pineapple. Oh man, that's funny. He's in a cocktail bar technique, if you like. And we go like that, and we go like that. I go a little bit further than his hair. I can then start going down. Again, I'll straighten the lines out, just roughing it out in a minute. And we got a shelf. And a shelf. Like that. You're having a cocktail. Wish I'd never said that because I don't know what cocktail glass looks like. Is it like that? More of a martini glass, isn't it? But cocktail. Give him a little. Umbrella. I can't fucking draw an umbrella. How the hell do I draw umbrellas? Umbrellas like, oh, something like that. Triangle. There you go. Umbrella. No point for a straw because only pissheads drink out of a straw. Start thickening out these shelves. So I need something to draw against. I'll have another shelf here, I think. We'll have it going down like it is in the picture there. Okay, so we'll put some bottles here. Add some glasses here. Maybe yeah, we'll do a few glasses. A few different types, maybe. We'll have a wine glass as well. Wine glasses. There. I'm going to put some in the background. No, fuck it. Let's leave it going. Alright. Wines. A few more wine. Yeah, this is going to take a full hour to ink tomorrow. All these extra little details. Put one bottle here so it's not so quiet over in this corner. Maybe another bottle or something. No, keep it with the glasses. A few more martini glasses here. Like that. What should we have on the bottom row? Maybe I put another bottle there to emphasize he is in a bar. There we go. And we'll squiggle for the writing. What are we going? Cocktail. Maybe like those triangle glass with the umbrellas in there. Okay, that's what we're drawn because he has a rich gentleman. Yes, he drew it before seeing what I said. Yeah, I did. I was already thinking it. What? That's what I meant as triangle glasses. Yeah. What do you think so far as the bar, Mr. Pineapple? What do you think, mate? A little bit of a squiff angle, but whatever. It's cartoony, so we can be a little bit squiff. That's annoying. When I rip this out, I'm going to leave a load of taff. Top old chap. Top old chap. Pip pip. What ho? Tally ho. Bish bosh. Posh posh. Ring a ding ding. All that jazz. Fella. Oh dear. Right, should I make this that way or should I make this that way? Make it that way. That looks better. We'll make it that way then. Like that. Bish bish. Bish bosh. Tally ho. This way. The hunt is on. The game is afoot. That's more Sherlock Holmes, isn't it? Now the cabinet looks weird and looks like it needs more depth. So I can't be asked. Right. The bar can be kind of the way it is because it's leaning up against it, but it needs some kind of something. So it looks like a bloody bar. There's drink. I mean, I can move that plate drink. That have to stay there. Like that, like that. Maybe a few wooden slats going down. Because I'm glutton for punishment. I like to give myself more work than I need to. Right. Let's do this. Let's do this thing. I feel like I want to make this out of a box and give him a little bar to stand in. You can play with it. Do you know what? I'm going to give it a little lip right on the edge. Tiny little lip. Don't know if I want to give it slats. There you go. Little lip. I mean, the slats would look good, but let's see what they look like. Stop it, dog. Why are you going around searching around for bloody carpet bits to eat, you idiot? You're an idiot. You got food in your bowl? Nana, in here. In here on your bed. You're getting too hot, and that's what your problem is. You're dehydrated. Go sit down, you bloody idiot. Don't. Hey! Hey! Bed. No, bed, down, down, down. Go back, in, and down. Hey, down, down. Stay there. You're too hot. Keep going in the bedroom, you're going to get hot. You're in and out, and you don't know what's wrong with you, so go and sit down there. No, Nala. Nala. Hey! Here. She says, no, I'm going in there, whether you like it or not. Goodbye. Take my old bloody dog. Sorry for swearing. Oh well, never mind. I did it now. Not even a harsh word. Okay. Guesstimating now. The slats between them. There you go. It's got a slatted wooden bar. Oh, squirrely nothing underneath there. Don't really need to worry about that. Well, I'm not doing a brick wall because I can't be asked. We'll just have a little picture or something here. Trying to draw a cute cat. I don't think it's working. There you go, little picture of a cat. God, doing that paw thing that's quite popular now. Look at little squirrels to show that it's wood. I like these squirrels when I'm doing that. That little details. In a bar, no floor. Not gonna bother with shadow. I believe I'm done. I believe I'm finished. I don't think I can put any more. No, I got to figure out what colours you want for the bar. Okay, so we got the bar. Do you like that bar design, bud? Okay, what are you saying there? Top old chap. You got it. I love it. He looks so inbred too. All right, for the face. Yeah. Okay. It's 342 on pineapple. It's 342 on pineapple decory. Dicory? Do you mean decorating? It's 342. I don't understand what that means. What do you mean 342? Is that something anime thing I'm in to know? Because I don't really watch much anime, but so the bar. Bar, we're gonna have what colors? Okay, what are the seats gonna be? Or stalls. Stalls, bar. Wall. And floor. So for the bar, do you want it wooden? Do you want it an off color of something? Do you want a red? Do you want purple? Do you want, what color would you want? Same for the seats. I can't think of what they're called then. Kit for the seats, and the same for the wall. Same for the floor. I'll come up. That's basically going to be this wood. You know what I mean? Cabinet's going to be wood, and the bottles will be bottle colors. Yep. It's 342. I don't understand that. 342. You're gonna have to explain that to me because it's bugging me. Yep, and go with oldie woody colors. So wood, dark wood. You mean stained wood? Because that's what they used to do with a lot of every wood they had. They stained it, and that's why it was so dark because of the state of the stain. So bar, dark wood. Dark wood. Stairs. Not stairs. Stool. What colour is the stool's going to be, mate? The chairs. Three for the price of two. Yes, stained wood. Three for two. Yeah, I'm a bit confused with what you're trying to say in chat there, mate. Red, like a red color for the stools. I'm guessing seats are red. Ready. Reddish. What about the wall and the floor? So the wall and the floor. Bear in mind, if you use a lot of dark colors, it will be very, very dark color. It will be a very, very dark picture, apart from that one place where there's pink and... No, that's all right, actually. No. Ignore what I'm saying. I'm thinking because the suit was black, but the suit's not black. It's blue. So ignore what I'm saying. What colors do you want for the wall and the floor? What kind of wallpaper? Or no, paint on the walls do you want? I am not doing wallpaper. Because I can't be asked. Oh, three. Oh, is that what you said? You wanted a little, instead of, you want a 3 for 2 poster. Three for two, 3 for 2. Yeah. 3 for 2, 3 drinks for the price of 2. Yeah. Is that what you're saying up here instead of having a little cat? Having a little 3 for 2 offer up on the wall. Well, what colours do you want the wall and the floor? Cappuccino. Okay. cappuccino wall floor. So you want brown with brown and brown. Brown, 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 brown. Okay, I can do that, mate. Cappuccino. Cappuccino. Oh. For both. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Are you happy with that? Get off the picture, my hair, go away. So it looks like an old world look. Yeah, makes sense, mate. I'm there with you. Bottle. The glass is floating now. Move that a little bit. Make a bit more of a prominent thing in the picture. With umbrella sticking out of it like that. Oops, yes, bro, love it, lovely, awesome. Glad you do. Hey, do you want to have a little zoom in? I'll have a little recap because I think I'm pretty much done now because it's 2 hours. 2 hours and 22 minutes. I've definitely had some fun today. Hopefully you have as well. And I know you guys have left some likes, but if you are watching this one back, don't forget to leave a like. As this one's not going to be recorded. Well, this one has been recorded, but only for the live stream. It hasn't been recorded on PS4. It's just been recorded here for you guys to watch live. Is there anything you want to put on the bottom shelf there? It doesn't seem better to me, but I can put something there. Oh, hello, me again. Hello, it's me again. Come to ruin your damn life. Hello. No, stop looking at me. Go down. There we go. Seems a bit sticky there. Okay, so that's all the things. There's the picture. It's the whole process of designing it. I know what he looks like. I know what colors he's going to have. I know what colors is going to be behind him. Again, I'll ink all of this tomorrow. That's just in black ink. Then I'll color that one again. And I'll color it on Wednesday. And then I'll get, tonight, I've got a feeling I'm going to be carrying on with making the armature. No, I've done the armature, sorry. The clay part of your other Roblox characters. Get those done. Again, I might record them, I might not. It depends on stuff because I've got things everywhere where they shouldn't be right now. So it's setting up things. But yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed this one. I'll be back again tomorrow if Mr. Pineapple Man. So don't forget to set your alarm or set a timer for 2 p.m. as that's when I'll be back and I'll be live again to finish off and get the ink done on this. So you get to see how I do it in every stage. Otherwise, buddy, and everybody else that may be watching, don't forget to click those links for notification. Nope, that's the wrong one. Don't forget the links that will appear and click the bell for notifications on when I'll be live again. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you do. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. My name, once again, has been Blut084, BLUT084. Check me out on TikTok, because I'm pretty sure Mr. Pineapple and me and Artemis will be making a few over there. So check us out over there, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.